Why do all modern cars look the same way? No evolution whatsoever, and they still look how they did 10 years ago. I'm looking at a new Honda Civic, and it kind of looks like an old Kia Forte or something. You know, or I'm looking at the Camry. The new Camry still looks like a Jetta. They're not changing. These cars are still looking the same. But I'm even looking at a new Jetta, and it kind of looks like a 2010 Accord. The car's design is not changing. We're in 2026, and cars are still looking like they did in 2010. I'm looking at the Honda Accord, at this car, and the 2024 Mustang, the 7th gen. Why does the front look the same? The front of the cars look the same. That's crazy. So that needs to change, or at least needs to evolve, because the Mustang, the 7th gen Mustang is based off the 6th gen Mustang that has a front bumper of this Accord. Why in the world? It's really good looking. It actually looks good, but it's based on the 6th gen. So there's no evolution there, and when you look at the Honda Accord, it no longer makes the 7th gen Mustang feel special, or look special at all. And I'm looking at other new cars. I am noticing that new cars still have door handles. I know people say that the handles are to make the car look nice. I actually do not. Like, modern cars should stop having door handles. I think the Teslas, you know, the Model 3s and whatnot, without door handles, I think they look good. At least they look modern, because door handle. I think door handles should only be for trucks. For cars, I think door handles need to be done away with, because it's just making them look like 2010, maybe 2018 or older, and it just no evolution. I mean, this is just me. This is what I think. But what's even worse is that the SUVs are not evolving, especially the Denali, the Tahoe, the Suburban, and the Expedition. I mean, there's no change. And then if you look at the Tahoe, it doesn't look very different than the ones before, except for like the front bumper. I mean, there's no change. I mean, yeah, the grill is bigger and looks shinier, you know, but it doesn't really look anything. It's like the all new Chevy Tahoe, and it still looks exactly the same way as it did before. There's no change. There's absolutely no change with these cars. I'm looking at the new Ford Explorer. It kind of just looks like the previous generation Ford Explorer. They just changed the front grille, and that's it. I mean, yeah, maybe there's details in the headlights, but it still has the same body as the previous generation Ford Explorer. And I think the new one looks uglier. That's just me. I think it looks uglier. And then, you know, the trucks. Don't even get me started on the trucks. Every single pickup truck looks exactly the same way, even the new ones. Every single truck. Even the Rivian has the same body style. I'm looking at the Chevy Silverado, the GMC Sierra, the Toyota Tundra, the Nissan Frontier, the Dodge Ram, the Ford F-150, and the Honda Ridgeline. I mean, what? Every single pickup truck looks exactly the same way. I mean, yeah, of course, you can tell by the grille, the headlights, the taillights. But if you're just looking at it from the side, and you're just a normal person, you're not going to be able to tell which truck that is. You're not going to be able to tell. Now, I know people do not like the Cybertruck. I actually like the design of the Cybertruck, you know, because it looks different. People say, oh, it looks like a PS1 game, or it looks like something from a PS1 game. Or people say that some child drew it and that became the project for the Cybertruck. It looks different. It looks unique. It actually looks futuristic. It's simple in its design. It doesn't have any door handles. Its shape is weird, but I actually like it. This is the only. I'm not talking about the functionality of the truck. I know people have been testing the durability of the Cybertruck, and it's not really good. I'm not talking about the durability. I'm not talking about function. I'm just talking about the design. And I've talked about certain things before, and people come out and say, but its functionality is this and that. No, I'm only talking about the design of the truck. Only the design. And they all look the same. It's like, I see movies with cool, really cool looking cars, and we're still stuck making the same car over and over and over. And then get this, they're getting more and more and more expensive. And you can make a good looking car and not make it expensive. It's very, very possible. You don't have to have a bunch of screens. You don't have to have all an Apple CarPlay or any of that stuff. Just have the functionality of a regular car to take you from point A to point B. And you don't have to make it look, you know, or I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive, and you can make it look cool. I mean, I'm looking at the Audi RSQ from iRobot 2004. Unbelievable. I mean, this car was from 2004 and is one of the best looking concept cars ever. I mean, in my opinion. I mean, the spheres for wheels, I'm pretty sure spheres for wheels are possible. Very possible. I know people are saying, oh, it's not practical, or it's not, how to do the suspension. But people have been saying this for every single invention. Oh, there can't be flying cars. We have flying cars now. Of course, they're not like, customer cars, but we have flying cars. We have drones. We have planes this guy. We have highly advanced aircraft. So I think anything is possible. I think we can do balls for them. I think it would be cool to have like some car, not like every single car. I think like the balls for wheels can be like for like luxury cars or something. Because this would be a luxury car, I think. And you're looking at the detail of this car. I mean, I know the Audi R8 is, based off of it, but it looks nothing close to like the side profile of the RSQ. I mean, look at the lights in the back, the Audi logo, or the emblem, in that red, I mean, it's crazy, that's just my thing. I made this thing in Blender. I know it's not the best thing in the world. I'm not really the best, car designer in the world. I'm just doing, not side projects, but like things for myself, kind of like a hobby. And so I made this thing. Let's kind of get an idea of what cars could look like in the future, and I just kind of imagine a car with like movable seats where you can move the seats from right to left. Maybe you can move the steering wheel and the gear stick, and you can move it with you, maybe the pedals as well. It'd be really cool. You can move, the passenger seats up and sideways and whatnot. You can take the top off the car. You can even have the windows, the same color as the car, or at least the same color as the body of the car, or like have it as like a panel that you can wind down just like the windows. I think it'd be really cool. I know it's just ideas. These are just ideas that I came up with. But I think you can make something like this, and don't worry about the screens at the front. I just made that just cause. But even like I can have like we can have like cameras for the mirrors. I know it'll probably be expensive because cameras are but we have backup cameras. We have backup cameras in modern cars. So I think we could do cameras for side mirrors. I mean, have a panel, inside, and I think it would be really cool. Maybe that's not practical on the road, but do something different. If you have something that's different, cars can be unique if they're different, or if they're different, I think there would be a much more connection to these cars than people just finding a new car and say, you know what, I think that looks nice. People are saying $30,000, maybe $50,000 cars that are normal are nice cars. And they're not really that nice because they look like every single car on the road. Every single car on the road. And people are buying. Now, I have a used sports car. I drive a Ford Mustang, right? It's a 2016. The thing is, with this car, is I'm spending less money on a nice car than people are spending on a normal car. Today. People are spending more money for a normal car, like maybe, I don't know, $40,000, maybe $30,000 for these cars, but they could get a nicer used car. They're actually scamming themselves by getting these new cars. And I think that's why the car makers are still making the same cars. Not only is it practical, but it's the same formula that they rely on because people keep buying the same cars. They're buying those same cars with the technology, and the more technology advances, the more they put in the cars, and they know people are going to continue buying the cars because it's new. But there's nothing special about any single car that's on the road right now. Not a single, other than the Tesla, the new Teslas that are coming out with the line strip on the headlights and the taillights. I think that looks a little futuristic. And that's just my opinion. I'm not really a Tesla fan, but I do like seeing futuristic cars on the road. So I look at the Tesla, I'm like, all right, we're getting there. But no, we're not. Because you're looking at these new, I'm seeing these TV commercials for the new pickup truck, a new car, introducing the new Ford F-150. And it still looks the same way. It still looks the same way as it did 10 years ago. That's just me. I mean, I'm pretty sure people can see this. They could definitely see this and say, yeah, it kind of looks the same. And I think door handles they should still be on trucks. But for cars, I mean, you can have like something like the C7 Corvette where you can, stick your hand in that little hole there and open the door that way instead of having traditional handles for every single car. No car is unique. No car is unique. That's what I'm seeing. And I don't really, like driving normal cars. I like sports cars, so I'm not really buying these cars anyway. But for I guess decades now, people have been thinking about flying cars, hover cars, and we're still driving the same cars, and we're still driving the cars that look like cars from 2010s, even dating back to 2000s. The cars are not evolving, other than there's more technology inside the car, and maybe white LED headlights that look like lines. But that's pretty much it. I see some of these new cars, and they look kind of nice. I mean, like the new Kias, they're decent, but it's nothing. There's not really a step up. We're in 2020, almost 2030 right now, and cars. I guarantee you that cars are going to continue to look the same as they did in 2010 or early 2020. It's still going to be the same way. That's what I see. I don't really see evolution in these cars. I just see a money grab from these companies. And, I'm not going to say maybe that's the whole reason why these cars still look the same. I know some of them is for practicality and for reliability, especially for when it comes to sales and that want to change the chassis that's reliable for how many years. I get that. But, work around the chassis and make a new design. I mean, the Rivian, I guess, looks like a, futuristic or modern car. But, the shape of the pickup truck looks exactly like the Honda Ridgeline. It's crazy. So, automakers, please change the designs. I mean, not that I care about buying a normal car, but maybe I'll buy a pickup truck later on. Maybe I'll buy an SUV. I don't want to drive what everyone else is driving. I want to drive something unique. That's just my take.